USC Jay. It's your boy Jaquin. Really appreciate what you're doing for USC culture, man. Keep going.
Going on, shout out USC Jay, man. Appreciate the support. Shout out to USC Jay. You know what it is. Nothing but love, man.
All right. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Happy Monday to everybody, man. Listen, B. Shaw is back in the house, man. B. Shaw, what's the word?
Not a whole lot, man. I'm ready for Purdue week. I can tell you that.
Absolutely, man. This is we're gonna kind of talk about the game from this past weekend, man. We touched on it a little bit with my guy J-Walk, but I want to get your perspective, a former player's perspective, being that you were there last year, some of the things that you saw, and then we want to kind of get into some of the what can we expect for this weekend coming up. This is a big weekend. This is opening Big Ten play, so we'll get into some of that, man. So let's jump right into it, man. Last week, what did you see last weekend from this game, man, and how did you feel overall coming out of this game?
First off, there's a player I want to highlight because we actually talked about him last week, and we talked about Anthony Lucas. And Anthony Lucas,
my God, you brought that guy. And I brought him up too, but you really brought him up. Yeah.
We were right on cue, though. We said at any moment he's going to start getting his feet under him. He's just getting back in the swing of things, and he goes out there and he gets 2 sacks. And I'm telling you, I think every week we're going to see more and more out of him. So I'm really excited to see that. But overall, I mean, I thought it was the game started off a little sloppy, which I was a little disappointed to see. We had, they scored first. We had the turnover, and then we jumped off sides on defense, and it was kind of sloppy. And then the miscommunication, I forget what quarter it was, but the miscommunication when they score in the back end again, it's just kind of disappointing to see because I know being around Coach Belk and being around Coach Lynn, they do a great job of getting issues corrected. And I know they harped on communication. I mean, Coach Lynn, I heard one of his press conferences before the game harped on communication, and the fact that they had another communication breakdown is not great. But knowing Coach Lynn, I think he's really going to, he's going to be involved heavily this week. He's not going to play around anymore with that.
No doubt. So I guess I want to ask you, though, from a schematic standpoint, like, what do you think went wrong on some of that, man? So many different theories as to whether there were blown coverages. We saw something kind of similar as far as the Missouri State game. Like, what did you see? And it's hard seeing from well, you were actually there. I forgot.
It is a little tough. I think on the one with Fitzgerald, kind of looked like communication breakdown. I think he kind of had bad eyes. I think his eyes just kind of got lost a little bit. Put him a step behind. So and then it looked like he was kind of arguing with the corner about communication, but at the end of the day, it just can't happen. But I think moving forward, last year, Coach Lynn, he really pressured teams a lot. He really heated up the pressure. And I think moving forward, going into Big Ten play, he's going to get back to some of that, man-to-man, really letting the blitz linebackers get downhill, filling gaps, because, we're going to need it. And I think we've kind of struggled in terms of those two things at the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, I agree. And there's something I wanted to ask you about too. We know there was a position change with Kamari Ramsey going to the nickel spot, Christian Pierce at the top, and next to Bishop Fitzgerald. I don't know how much of a factor do you kind of figure that is right now with Kamari Ramsey being at the nickel. I always felt like Kamari Ramsey is that, I guess, somewhat of commander-in-chief, one who could kind of be up there at the top. Like, how you feeling about that? You think we'll see some movement back with Kamari and it looks a little different without him up there?
Yeah, I think you're going to see Kamari starting to move all over the place. And, I can tell you that they're going to take a different approach with Big Ten play rolling around, just kind of knowing how those guys operate. Kamari's going to be all over the field. He's not going to just be down at the nickel spot. I'm 95% confident he's going to be back there. And like you said, he runs the show and he's got crazy range. And when he can get his eyes locked in on the quarterback and relies on his instincts, I mean, he's a hell of a playmaker. So, we're just kind of, they look good, but there's some stuff to clean up. And definitely Ramsey is going to be moving around, I think, at multiple positions.
I guess some of the things too, I wanted to ask you about this. I know last year you were on the field, and so your perspective, how much is your perspective different now? Like, you're on my side of it now, and now we're having conversations about this. Like,
exactly.
so do you view it the same way, or do you go back into the locker room mode? Like, I'm in the locker room, we see it totally different. Like, where do you stand at with that?
Yeah, well, my first thing when I was being there in attendance at the game, I was like, man, I can actually enjoy this offense, because when I was playing, when they're on offense, we're getting adjustments and all that. And I couldn't really enjoy the offense. And, man, I tell you what, that offense is fun to kind of just sit the fan and watch, especially this past weekend. But, yeah, I definitely miss being in it with the guys. But at the same time, I love just kind of sitting back, stress-free out there and just watching them do their thing.
No doubt, no doubt. So me and Jay, we gave some grades yesterday, man.
Yeah.
And we'll do the offense and the defense. And so I guess we can kind of go by position group. So when you look at I guess we can break it up from a cornerback standpoint. I didn't think it was all that bad. I thought they pretty much Braylon Conley, I saw step up. I saw Marcellus Williams step up.
Yes.
And man, shout out to my guy D Nick. He stepped up. And he almost looked like he was playing safety. From your standpoint on the field, because I was trying to figure this out. I was having a conversation. Where did D Nick come from making that interception? Because it looked like he came from up top. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I mean, I was down the far end, so that play took place down the far end, and I was actually standing there with Woody Marks, running back for the Texans.
Yeah. I saw him and all those guys.
Yeah, him and D Nick coming from Mississippi State together. They're like best friends. So when it happened, I mean, we were going crazy. But, I would have to go back and watch it. But it looked like maybe he was in a deep third and kind of overlapped on it because he was definitely in a deep part of the field somewhere.
Right.
So it looks like he was in a deep third, and then kind of saw the overlapped on the play. And, man, that was a hell of an interception.
Man, it was incredible. He almost looked like a safety.
He did. He went and got it and everything. Then D Nick's son was sitting right behind us. Little D is what we call him.
Yeah.
Right there in the stands, he's dancing. I mean, it was just for the Nicholson family. It was as good as it gets. I mean, we're all fired up for him.
Absolutely. So what would you give the cornerback group?
Cornerback group, I mean, I think Selly played really good, physical as well.
Same here.
I mean, I think I would give him an A. D Nick interception, I think, puts him at an A.
I think so.
I didn't see any problems with them.
I think so. So we'll just do the defense as a whole. The defense as a whole, where would you get a defense coming into this Big Ten play? What would you give them a grade for last weekend? If you were to just, I know they're your boys. I just want to, I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
We gave them like a C last week, right? Last weekend we gave them a C. I think that's
so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with a C again, just kind of knowing Coach Belk. It's just, I think they're going to keep getting better and better. But kind of what disappointed me, and I know kind of the guys I was talking to, is it looked like the same mistakes from the first game a little bit. And knowing Coach Lynn and knowing Coach Belk, like I keep saying, that doesn't normally happen with this coaching staff. You normally see these problems get corrected instantly. So I think moving forward that Coach Lynn's going to be really involved, even more, bouncing around all the position rooms. That intensity with Big Ten play coming up is going to be picked up, and especially going on the road, because last year, let's call it what it is, we did struggle on the road. Yeah,
we did. I give them a C too, only because the potential for me. And then, I just think the sky's the limit for those guys. Those guys have incredible potential.
We're being very hard on them for sure.
But they're incredible. The expectations for those guys is so high right now because of the fact that they're tremendous athletes. And I think highly of all of those guys, and I think all of them have incredible talent. So that's kind of where we are with that. So if we can move on, let's move on to offense, man. I mean, I personally, I haven't seen an offense like this at USC. Caleb Williams, of course, with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And you play with Caleb Williams, right? You play with Caleb Williams. Yeah. So how you feeling about the offense, man? Like, what's the first thought that comes to your mind?
I tell you what, I was talking with one of my former teammates from Ohio State, and we got into it pretty good because I'm telling them, we got arguing about the wide receiver room. This wide receiver duo is the best duo in the country, which Jacoby Lane. And
Absolutely.
I don't think it's close. I saw a stat, and you probably know this better than me. I think Lemon's leading a couple categories. Receptions after the first 2 weeks. Lane. I said this. I said this to a couple of my friends as well. I said Lane will make five to seven more of those spectacular catches at least this season. I mean, that's what he does. He's a contested catch freak. And then Jane Mayava. He was almost perfect again. He's we talked about it coming into the season that he's had a full year. He didn't have a full year under his belt with Coach Riley. He's had that now. Now he has that.
Right.
He's taken that next step, and I think he's shown us that. So I think with this offense, the offensive line, they're still playing around with it, still meshing. Yeah. Coming together. The run game looks great. King Miller, that's our guy. I mean,
man, we're gonna get on to him in a minute.
this offense, I mean, I don't know. They're gonna score points. My point is they're gonna score points on anybody. They're gonna score points on anybody, which is a great thing and really gonna help us out.
No doubt. So Jaden Alba took that step. The running back room, man, and you said it when you first came on about 2 weeks ago. I think you kind of mentioned King Miller and you talked about how impressive he was in practice. I don't know what is it about him that it's almost like every time he gets the ball, literally, like we're not even talking about 10-yard runs, 5-yard runs. How is this possible? Like what is it about him that get these big extended runs like this? What is it about his cut ability? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, he's got. First of all, I think a lot of it has to do with his personality. I mean, he's a very calm, like kind of guy. So I think him being so calm and talented, he's able to kind of see lane because he's not rushing, he's not panicking. So he's able to see these kind of cut back lanes or whatever you want to call it.
But it's so smooth the way he does it, though. It's just like
that's his personality. He's just kind of a smooth, relaxed, calm dude. So I think it's just vision. He's got great vision. And man, we talked about it. We talked about it the other week. We saw this all year out of him when he was playing scout team running back, and then in bowl season when he got a shot. I mean, he was doing his thing, and I think his reps are only going to go up. And with him, Sanders and Jordan, man, that running back room and B-Jack, that once he gets back, that running back room is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, you got literally like 4 or 5 backs. True freshman came in, of course. Wayman Jordan.
Yeah, he looks like a monster. Remind me of the true freshman's name again.
It slipped my mind just now.
No, yeah, it's my mind.
No, you have Riley Wormley, and I can't believe my mind went blank on him just now. It really went blank on him. I know him very well. Wow, I can't believe it. Riley Wormley, and we only took 2 backs, and I can't even remember his name. I got his name. I know his name, but wow, I can't even believe it. It just went blank. But he's out of the DMV area. He's from your out that way. The DMV area, and his name, I can't even think of it.
Yeah, and I've heard that the coaches
Harry Dalton.
I've heard the coaches very, very pleased with the freshman running backs as well. So I mean, like you said, it's 4 or 5, however many backs they got, they all can play.
Yeah, they all can play. And so from the running back, I'm giving them an A+, man. They just look phenomenal. Yeah. I give the receivers. How you feeling about you? Of course, you feeling about the receivers. It's an A+. The tight end game, man, it looks like Jaden got Walker Lyons involved. He got Lake McCree involved the first game with a big time touchdown. Now we see Walker Lyons now getting involved. How you feeling about the tight? Yeah, I'm temporarily lost in the sauce. My mind went blank. Hey, listen, man, I go through this stuff every day, man. It's unbelievable. And all of a sudden I'm freeze up. Can you believe that?
That's funny. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, with Walker Lyons, I mean, it's going to be important to get two tight ends really going, getting in the Big Ten play. So I think getting Walker Lyons involved this past weekend is great. He's going to need to step up, and he's a great player, and he's going to have to show it, and they're going to have to lean on him heavily going into the Big Ten, because you got to have 2 capable and tight ends, both in the pass game and in the run game.
Absolutely. So overall, as a team, where would you give the grade at? We allowed 20 points. We talked about the offense, talked about the defense. Overall grade, like, what would you give the team as a whole? That's still a lot of points putting up against a football team.
Oh, no, exactly. And I think the good news is all their mistakes are easily fixed. It's not like we're sitting here saying, "Oh no, we're lacking at this position.
Right.
We struggle here." So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give them an A-, because this is a really good football team.
It's a great team. Absolutely.
All the mistakes they've made are, kind of, they're going to be fixed. So I give them an A-, and I'm really excited to get into this Big Ten play.
No doubt. I agree with you. So we're going to move on to the Big Ten and what can expect. But real quick, am I being a homer? I want them to hear it from you, man, because am I being too much of a homer when I think of this team? I saw Super West Coast Sports. They put up, here's a percentage right here. Just today they put this up. And I'll show it to you real quick. This is the percentage of teams that are supposed to make it to the college football playoff, and they had USC in there. Here it is right here. They had Oregon at 17%, Ohio State at 14.9%, Texas at 11.7%, Georgia at 9%, and then lo and behold, ESPN SPI has USC at 7.3%. Am I being too much of a homer of agreeing with that? Like USC, I really believe that they're a playoff team based on the talent, and I believe this thing is going to gel together at the end of the day. What do you feel about it? Just viewing it now as a fan opposed to a player.
No, I agree. I'm totally with you. Like I talked about, this offense is going to score points on anybody. This defense, Coach Lynn is as good as it gets. I saw one of the comments here from Mark saying that Lynn was just experimenting, and he probably is. Right. I do agree. I don't disagree at all with that. The game plan going in this weekend is going to be solid, and I'm with you. I think the sky's the limit for this team. We've said it all offseason that this team was being overlooked. Are they ranked? Did they rank them yet, or was
they didn't even rank them, man? That's what's really it's mind-boggling. Look at Florida. They had all these teams. They had Florida ranked. They had Alabama up there high. All of these teams they had up there high, man. It's like Michigan was ranked, I think, number 14, 15, something like that. They lost the game to Oklahoma. Yeah. And USC still not ranked. I'm not even about to tell you. They got USC ranked. They got like 87 votes. Can you believe that? Yeah, 87 votes to be in the top 25. But I mean, what can you say? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, they just got to keep taking care of their business, and it'll all work out for them for sure.
Absolutely. So when we're going into the Big Ten, before we take some calls, before we go into that, the Big Ten play is coming. Now, I had a little discussion with you as far as Purdue, man, and I just kind of want to let me say this real quick. I'm getting ready to shut this down off of Twitter because I want everybody that comes on. First of all, I want you guys to subscribe to Shaw Sports on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to Shaw Sports on YouTube. But I want you guys, we're almost at 8,000. We need about 73 to get to 8,000. I'm shutting this off of Twitter because I want all of you guys to come over here onto YouTube and make sure you tune in. So it is coming off of Twitter, and we will only be on YouTube. So you guys, I'm going to make sure I don't shut this live down. Delete, remove from Twitter. Okay, there we go. So I want you guys to make sure you guys come on. Make sure you guys come on YouTube and make sure you all subscribe. So look, going into the Big Ten now, I think a lot of people, we look at Purdue, they're ranked last in the Big Ten, but I think it's a very underrated place to play. Can you talk about that, and what can we expect now coming over here to the Big Ten?
Absolutely. So when I was at Ohio State, just kind of quick story. We played them in 2022, but the time before that, we played them in 2018. I wasn't there yet. It was a year before I got there, and Ohio State had a really good team at the time. And they go to Purdue, place is rocking, and they go and they get thumped. It wasn't even close. I mean, I think Purdue put like 50 on them. And Purdue has done this a couple times. Purdue is a very, very tough place to play, and they're very sneaky. They got good talent.
Yes,
they can catch you. That's a very, it's a kind of, you get lulled to sleep a little bit because the atmosphere when you first show up, where are we? What is this place? Not a whole lot going on, and then all of a sudden it's kind of a ruckus crowd going. And if you don't get on them early, that crowd gets going, and it's a tough place to win. I'll tell you that right now. So we got to go in there with our A game for sure.
Absolutely. I remember Purdue actually they beat Ohio State. That was I just remember that environment. They beat them in 2018. And the last time you played against Purdue, you mentioned the quarterback. It was a pretty decent quarterback.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell, and then they had Jeff Brom as their coach, who's now with Louisville. So they were a good team, really good team.
Absolutely. So now moving on to this team now that is coming up. They're coached by a guy named Barry Odom. And Barry Odom, and we're getting ready to take some calls here in a minute. And I'm going to put the link here in a second. But they're coached by a guy by the name of Barry Odom. And Odom actually was J.D. Maiava's coach at UNLV in 2023. So you're talking about a guy that was J.D. Maiava's first year. You're talking about a guy that's very familiar with a guy like J.D. Maiava's maybe tendencies or whatever you want to call it. So what do you think? How do you think that could come into play? And then we got Coach Henson, of course, that's over there as well. So those two factors right there, he probably knows, some of the in and outs of Lincoln Riley.
And Coach Odom's brother, Coach, was a linebacker coach at SC, with Coach Riley.
Coach Odom went up. Coach
Barry,
Odom went up.
Yeah, Barry Odom's brother. I'm somehow blanking. Yeah,
No. I know, Coach. You talking about our former linebacker coach, Coach Odom?
Yeah, that's his brother.
That's his brother? Man, you telling me something I didn't even know. That's his brother. So Coach Odom that was with USC that was with Coach Grinch.
Yes, that's his brother.
He's at wow. I didn't even. You know what? I didn't even realize that. That didn't even come into play with me.
Yeah,
wow.
Isn't that crazy?
So we got the three potential coaches that kind of know some of the players, know some of the coaching, know some of Lincoln Riley tendencies. Man, how do you think that factors in?
I mean, it definitely takes a factor now with Jaden, like we've kind of talked about. I think he's an entire new quarterback, new player mentally and physically than he was at UNLV. But, Coach is definitely going to have some good looks for him, tough looks for him. I mean, this is going to be a tough game no matter how you cut it, and we cannot take Purdue lightly at all. I mean, having coaches that are familiar with our program, with the Trojan program, and having familiarity with our players and Jaden Mayava, I mean, that does give them, a little bit advantage in game planning and stuff like that.
No, man, I totally agree. I think USC absolutely has to move and groove, man, and just be focused as it relates to what we're doing this weekend. And then you got a couple of transfer portal players that they have. We got former USC wide receiver. Did you play with Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I did play with Mike Jackson. Tough dude.
Man, I used to go when I lived in Vegas. I used to go to his grandfather's church. His name was Michael Jackson too. He's Michael Jackson III. So I'm very familiar with their family, man. Friends with his dad. And man, I've always felt like Michael Jackson was just like a super underrated guy. You know how Michael Jackson is.
We were devastated when he left. I mean,
I remember.
He was a really, really good player, and just he was a great guy in the locker room. We were not happy that he left.
And the thing about Mike Jack, he is he could get the ball, he can go. I remember he came in there against Utah one game when Jordan Addison was out, and he came in there and absolutely him and
at Utah, right?
Yeah, it was at Utah. Him and Kyle Ford really they really stepped up for Jordan Addison and Mario Williams. And I'm just thinking, like, man, I know his abilities. I don't know what happened at Georgia. I heard that he might have been injured a little bit, but I know he's over here now. I saw him the other day. He had a phenomenal, nice little touchdown.
Yeah, he's had a good start.
Yeah, he's had a good start. So they're 2-0. So I'm saying that to say that they have some weapons, man. So schematically, man, I know you're not Coach Lynn, but what do you think needs to be? Like I said, I feel like Kamari Ramsey needs to go back at the top, man. Like, how you feeling from a schematic standpoint?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Kamari is going to be moving around a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of him and CP involved with pressures too. I think you're going to see a lot of pressures. I really do. I think you're going to see a lot of pressures coming from the secondary. I just have a sneaky feeling that Coach Lynn's really going to ramp up the aggressiveness heading into Big Ten play. So that's what I think you're going to get out of Coach Lynn. He's going to have confidence in his guys, confidence in his secondary, and confidence in his defensive line and his linebackers. And he's going to, and part of, having creative pressures, he's going to get those linebackers moving more downhill in the run game. And like I said, I think he's just going to be very, very aggressive.
I'm going to tell you who I was impressed with. I was impressed with Jaden Walker. That true freshman, how I don't know where you were positioned on the field, on the sideline, but did you get a chance to see him? Was that big time?
Well, he was actually, I think he's a redshirt freshman, right? Because he was with us last year.
Yeah. He was a redshirt. And he looked good though, man. Like what I saw him able to do when he came in the game, it looked like he was just downhill. He read his gaps right, and he moved the groove. Like, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, well, Jaden Walker, I can tell you guys this. He is absolutely, his practice habits are exactly what you want everybody in your program to be. I mean, it doesn't matter if it was a walkthrough. Now, sometimes you had to tell him because he's getting used to it. Listen, it's a walkthrough. Like,
he's still going full throttle.
Somewhat professional. He can't be, blasting a punch shield in a walkthrough, but that's the type of guy he is. He's super professional, super about his business. He goes 100 miles an hour every time, and I can tell you what, he's a big athletic dude, and he's looking to hit something at all times, and I was pumped up to see him get that big hit.
Absolutely. So there's some promising things to happen we're getting ready to open some calls. One more question I want to ask you as far as the rotation. I felt like the first couple of games was fully just we're trying out some things. We're trying to get some mixes, some matches. Do you see those rotations happening like the way they were happening on the D line, the way they were happening on all over? Do you see that happening?
No, I really don't. I can't see that continuing to happen. I mean, you're getting into some big games here. You're gonna need to find out who your dog. I mean, they're kind of know by now who their dogs are, but they're gonna have to leave guys out there, let them get in the groove, let them get in the flow, and allow some of these guys to really take over the game. So I don't think they're going to rotate as much. Maybe a little bit at the corner position, just because there's some depth there and those guys can really play. And Coach Belk does like to rotate, but I think Coach Lynn is going to really narrow down that kind of rotational pool of guys he's going to put in there, and he's going to let some of these guys just go, in my opinion. And I think he needs to.
No doubt. So we're getting ready to open up some questions. Phil Parker, where are you at? You said you lost your link. I'm putting the link here in the chat right now. You guys can come on in. You guys got any questions, man? Oh, real quick, what is your score? What is your final score? I'm we're 20-point favorite right now. So I think the offense is still potent though, B. Shaw.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's still potent. So I think I'm gonna go with maybe 30, maybe 35, maybe 35-10.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I was going to say. 35-10. I think the offense. I don't see them, scoring under 28 points this year. I really don't. I mean, this team's going to score on everybody. And then the defense. Coach Lynn's going to have these guys rolling. He's going to have a set game plan. The rotational pool is going to be a little bit more narrowed down, and he's going to have his best players out there at all times. And they're going to put in a good performance. 35-10 is exactly what I'm going with.
35-10, absolutely. Who scores the first touchdown?
I'm going to go with they put on a nice drive, nice opening drive. They get down to about the 6-7 yard line, and I think Jaden's going to, they're going to have a pass play, but Jaden's going to end up scrambling it in. So Jaden's going to get the first touchdown by running it.
All right. So 35-10, me and B. Shaw, we're going to take this first call, man. Leslie, you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
All right. Phil Parker, the one and only. Phil, how you doing?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Is our technology good enough?
Oh, great. You're solid.
Hey, it's great to meet you, Bryson. How are you?
Great to meet you too, sir. I'm doing good.
Well, you can call me sir. I guess I can call you sir too. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. Phil.
All right. Well, look, I have a couple of notes. It's really just thoughts about the last game. Okay. I have notes, right? They're right here.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to go off script. I think Danton Lynn is a mad scientist. Yep. I think what he's doing is, he is mixing and matching parts on his defense as he's having a chance to have all of these players and these different teams and these different situations. Bryson, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. He's definitely in these first two games. I mean, honestly, you're right. He is a mad scientist. I mean, he's a genius. So he's definitely figuring stuff out in his head, trying to experiment with some things. Somebody else said that as well. And coming in the Big Ten play, he's going to put it all together, and it's going to be a good show.
Yeah. So this is his chance. He's cooking up a stew in a sense. Think what he did back at UCLA. He came in with less time. What did he have? Like 4 months before he had actual time to put cleats on the ground?
Yeah.
And what did he do with that team? He bolstered that team up into the top 12 at the end of that season.
Yeah,
is that right?
Top 10. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, by the end, it wasn't top 10, but at the very end, it was top 12. I was a senior data analyst at the end of my career. Now
you're right. Most of the season was in the top 10. He finished out in the top 11. Actually, I remember specifically top 11.
right? So, but that's a fantastic meteoric rise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was hoping he could do that with USC. Why do you
It's
guys think
possible.
he couldn't? Why do you guys think he couldn't do that in the first season with USC?
I think there were several factors. I think we had some issues with depth. We had some injuries issues that take place. If you remember, that same Anthony Lucas that we saw Saturday, we saw that in the LSU game last year. However, Anthony Lucas, and B. Shaw could tell you, B. Shaw was on the field with him last year. Anthony Lucas got hurt. Essentially our commander in chief that was on defense, Eric Gentry got hurt. So we took some blows, and then you got to remember it could have went one way or the other. We lost like 6 games in the fourth quarter. So we're talking about a thin line to where all you had to do was tackle. I mean, literally one tackle, and the trajectory could have been changed, and we would have been having another conversation about some of these wins. But B. Shaw, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Jay. And when you look at that UCLA team, they were primed for a coordinator like that at that time. I mean, he got there. He definitely did his thing with them, but they were also primed. And they just needed somebody to lead the charge. Their defensive line was top tier. Not saying that ours wasn't, but they just had the depth and they had the right pieces in place.
Yeah, Latu.
Yeah, Latu. They had some big boys inside.
So they had the cupboard stocked, if you will.
Yeah. They were ready for him to come in, and he did his thing. And then USC, I mean, he's doing his thing. He's certainly doing his thing with USC as well. He had a lot to turn around at USC.
Yeah.
He had a good first year overall, so it's going well. I think and great in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, recruiting certainly is going well for 2026, and I think that things are going great with our guys as far as everything seems to be going. What do you guys think's going on? What do you guys think is going on with this season as far as training and conditioning? And I'm turning it around. Here I am. I'm supposed to be talking about my notes and everything. All right,
you're good. I think we got the right training. I think we got the right strength and conditioning. We got Coach True that came from Kansas State. And like I said, we kind of did some mix and matching at the beginning of the season. So I personally think we're getting ready to see something like a little bit different. And I think B. Shaw just spoke to that as far as like the rotation. I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a defensive line. We're probably going to see a whole different approach coming this weekend because we identified some of the talent. We identified who we want to go with. Even with the offensive line, we saw guys like, and to Bree Shaw's point, we saw guys like Michael Benuelas who came in there and played. He did a phenomenal job over the weekend, by the way. Yeah, he played. He did a phenomenal job. So, but Big Phil, I got these calls stacking up. I gotta take them there in line. But one more question for you, real quick, before we get to these others, real quick.
All right. Well, QB efficiency is like off the top of the charts. Why do you guys think that we're dropping in the ratings? For our team, why are we dropping in the ratings?
Because they're lost in the sauce. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Number one, I just read the ESPN FBI and
they
got
love
USC.
Us. ESPN loves us.
They love us. The computers know more than what humans know. That's number one. Number two, I just think it's a bias, a regional bias for whatever reason. You can't tell me any of us look at that top 25, and B. Shaw, you could speak to this as well. Anybody look at that top 25, you cannot tell me that we're not ranked higher than some of those teams. How many people in the top 25, let me say it like this, can stop USC? How many? How many teams?
There's not a lot. I mean, it's a joke. There's a joke. It's a joke that they're not in there. But I can tell you, Coach Riley's telling his guys to make sure they're not looking at that and reading too much into it. Just take care of week by week, and it'll all take care of itself.
Absolutely.
Hey, last question for me. Do you think Riley might be telling the players, put a chip on your shoulder?
I think Coach Riley's always telling his guys to have a chip on their shoulder for sure. I mean, he needs this team to be intense, especially going into Big Ten play. I know Coach Riley's got a big chip on his shoulder, so it's going to be a good one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hey, Big Phil, we appreciate you, man.
Fight on.
Thank you. Appreciate the questions.
Hey, fight on.
Fight on.
Let's see. Aaron, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
How you doing, man?
Good, good, good. I actually have a question for Bryson since he was in that secondary. Especially here with these two first games. Obviously, you can't look over any opponent, but do you think there's a reason why we're not trying to test out our young corners and just the corners in general on islands? You got Kamara, you got Bishop.
Yeah.
Like, is there any reason? Is it more of, hey, how much do these players know? And then we're trying to see, can we trust them in zone coverage and then come up and make tackles? Or do you think the mass, because obviously, once he starts sending blitzes and stuff like that, he might put people on islands when there's more trust there. Do you think that's what Deanne's doing with these first two games? Just to find out who can I trust?
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think he's finding out, he was these two first games. He had the luxury. He didn't have this luxury last year. We played LSU week 1. But he has the luxury this year of kind of trying things out, trying guys out. And I think you're going to start seeing some guys on islands for sure. I think I love what I saw out of D-Nick, not even including his interception. He does a lot of good stuff. He's tall, he's long, get hands on. Braylon Conley, very good. Braylon Conley, if you want to put a guy on the island, I think Braylon Conley's the one to do it because he's as good as it gets in man-to-man coverage. And then Selly's kind of an overall great football player. And then, I wasn't there with Harvey. Harvey got here after I left. But they got good corners, and I can promise you, and I think you know it as well, you're going to start seeing them tested and being put on islands. And they're going to need to perform. They're going to need to be on an island. And they're going to need to lock down some guys. Yeah,
because that's the only thing that I hadn't really seen
too
much in the first two games. I didn't see man as much. So I think this is more of like a, especially with younger dudes, like you don't want the confidence to go down if they get burnt by like an FCS team or something crazy like that. But I just wanted to see what your thoughts are on that. But that's all I got today, Jay.
Hey, appreciate you, Aaron. Hey, how'd you enjoy the game, by the way? I remember you telling me you were going to the game.
Oh yeah, dude. So obviously it was pretty late on Central time. But I almost woke up family when Aunt Lucas got those 2 sacks, man. I was so happy for that dude.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
y'all have a good day.
Hey, Aaron, take care, man. Let's see. We'll take a couple more and we'll call it a day. Thomas, let's see. Thomas.
Hey,
Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Man, we're great, man. We're great.
What's up, Thomas?
What's going on? Man, I just want to say you speak from a lot of context because you were in a transition year. I mean, a lot of people got to take into consideration, especially my man Phil. We went from a year of high expectation because the year prior to last year, before Deontay Lynn got up in there, we could have went to the playoffs. So, the expectations were extremely high with the return team coming back. And I think a lot of times people feel privileged. And I think with UCLA, there was no privilege there. There also wasn't a dismantling of a program like they did when they targeted us for the what you call it, the sanctions that were levied upon us. Like there was a reverberating effect that lasted far longer than many people expected. And honestly, man, I'm going to be real. This is the reason why I feel we don't get the rankings. They don't want SC up there because SC is a real genuine threat. When they're on top, they're a genuine threat. And they know this because there was a time when it didn't matter where they lined up, what field they played on, they were going to give you the business. And that was a targeting in a lot of teams that, quote unquote, they like to have in the mix. And we could tell by when you finish number 1, and somehow you miss inside the first BCS game. Things like that speak to the reasons why there have been times where they've had a team that should have been either in a BCS or in a playoff, and they had not been able to go when they were eligible and they were without ravishing talent, without them ravishing our talent. So that I just wanted to make note of because I think he's doing a fantastic job. Honestly, I think he's finding who he can trust, and I think he's finding a little bit more about about the players. But this is the culture. The teams that win, they're not tired. They have bodies. They roll in. So he's trying to show the future people who's going to be interested in coming here that you can get in here and you can make plays. You're going to see that field 1st through 4th down.
Yeah,
and we can rotate.
I agree. I think, and we spoke to that before you came on. I'm sure you probably heard, but I just think it was a lot of mix and matching going on, man. And I think this week it's our game face. We got to put our game face on the biggest test this week. B. Shaw, anything you wanted to say on that?
Yeah, no, you make a great point, and kind of you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think something that we didn't have the privilege last year, and really since I've been at SC, is getting young guys involved early in the season. And you are right that the more you can get these young guys going and get them live game reps, it's really going to help the program out down the road and later in the season when you need that depth, because you're going to be able to have guys who have played and are ready and have had that experience. So the more guys you can get that experience, the better. So you're definitely on to something there.
And not to say anything, because you never know how scheme, climate, fit, feel plays into how recruits or players are out there playing. Yep. We had a fantastic recruit in Curtis from out of Louisiana. You know this more than anybody. He was in there logging mad minutes, but it just didn't seem like the right fit for him when he was out there on the thing. And it looked like he was in position to make plays, but just wasn't making the plays. And, unfortunately, you go through that.
Well, we don't want to get into other play, but here's the thing. I think right now we're moving and grooving, and you always make excellent points, Thomas, by the way. But I think right now this week we're getting ready to see something special. I think we're gonna see something different. I never like to throw other players out there, man. That's just something I don't do. You know that.
Well, I apologize about that. I was just showing you how you just go through finding out who you're gonna be able to put in there in the moment because how they respond. That's all I was about to say.
No, I know. I get you, and you always make excellent points. You made excellent points last time. Any last thing you want to hit with real quick before I take these other calls, though? And give me a score prediction too.
Oh, score prediction. Honestly, I think we do. Purdue is always hard to deal with, especially in their own place. I believe you see the offense not taper off. I think we're going to score high 40s. I was saying like 40, maybe 43, 44. Absolutely. So about like 44 to like 17.
I said 35-10. I'm going to kind of roll with that, but I'll take the 40 piece, though, all day long.
For sure.
All day long. So, look, Thomas, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to take a couple of these other calls before we get out
of here.
For
sure. Definitely.
All right, man.
All right. You guys have a good one.
Hey, you too, my man.
Shaw.
Stay blessed. Stephon.
What's the deal, man? What's going on, Jay? What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Hey, we here, man. How you making it?
Man, I'm just getting off work, man, trying to unwind and trying to just relax and get my mind right. That's about it.
Hey, well, we here for you, man. What you got?
100%.
No, I was wondering too. I think I asked you yesterday. I was wondering why B Jackson didn't get in at no running back. Was he out with an injury or something, or?
Yeah, he was out. And I kind of I know why, but he'll be back next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Protocol.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard. It's gonna be kind of hard trying to keep everybody happy, though, man. Trying to, because it's only one pill, to go around. So I just hope don't nobody. Me personally, I go back to the Pete Carroll days, and even before that, John Robinson days and all that, where you waited your turn. All this. Oh, I want to go leave and all that. Me personally, I'm not like. Well, we said we wasn't doing that, so we said we weren't throwing no kids under. Because I was gonna say somebody that came from Los Alamitos with lemon, anyway. But you see how that go. But anyway, but I just feel like the old fashioned way, wait your turn, and then you're gonna be up next. You know what I'm saying? All this want to bounce around and all that. I kind of agree with. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's Trump or if it's
No, man. Hold on.
No, with the bouncing around with the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know because you talk about the new rule that's supposed to be implemented, right?
Right.
Congress.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. There's a bag involved with this now. College football, it's not the way it used to be when we
right.
Yeah. When you talk about a bag involved. Hey, look, man, I'm going to say it, and I'm all about staying loyal to the soil, but you look at these 5 backs, and B. Shaw told you, man, how King Miller looked in practice. I'm just praying, I don't know. It's. I mean, B. Shaw, what you think about it, man? I mean,
Do you think we stuck? Do you think we stuck in our ways? We old fashioned. We need to come out of that because we in a new era now.
No, I agree with what Jay's saying. It's kind of hard when you have 4 or 5 really talented players, and not everybody's going to be getting the pill all the time. And then you get it's kind of what he's saying is he's concerned because King Miller, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to get other schools offering $400K, $450K,
exactly.
and he's going to have a chance to take care of himself. And it's going to be hard if if he's not going to get more, if he just can't get more reps because the guys in the room are so good, then he's probably going to take that money and leave, which is very unfortunate because he's a great guy. But that's now that's just a name I'm using as an example, but that's kind of my point. It's kind of hard in today's world to say, no, I'm just going to stay loyal. But if there is with that being said, if there's a running back room and some guys that I think would do it, I think these guys would do it. They seem very close and willing to.
I guess because I'm just greedy and I want all of them, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, I want everybody.
Hey, Stefan, here's what I'm going to say to you. Put yourself in one of their positions. What would you do?
No, that's true. No. You're right.
So man, I think all of our running backs could start in a lot of places, man, right now.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
And that's a problem.
I just hope that don't become a problem. Even with we had that issue. We was talking about it earlier this year before the season got started. Even with the wide receiver room, we was like hoping that Lincoln Riley don't add too many receivers because it's like then everybody, because there was a couple dudes that came over a year before and it was like they wasn't getting no burn, but when they was at their school, they was the man. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? That you gotta, injuries do happen. So I guess you gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that in the back of your mind because if, something happened, we got somebody to back up. But I like it the way it is right now. And I like the way the rotation is, the way he got Lemon and Jacoby Lane is the key, to 1 and 2 or whatever. So hopefully, we can just keep it rolling like that or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about I think we're in the right position where we're going to make this run, though, like seriously, because at the end of the day, it's about numbers and it's about health, staying healthy or whatever. So if we could do that, we'll be all right. We got the talent to match up with anybody in the nation. And like y'all was saying, looking at the top 25, we match up with anybody. I don't know why they don't have us ranked. We've been saying that for the longest. But we already know how it's biased. So, it's not, all we just got to do is just really take care of our business. And then, all the rest of it fall where it's supposed to fall. So,
no, absolutely. Stefan, I appreciate you. And I know what you're
talking about. I'll holler at y'all, though, fellas.
I know what you're referring to, that one-time transfer rule that they're trying to implement. It's coming through Congress or whatever. That hadn't been passed yet, but I know what you're referring to. But I appreciate you, man.
All right, fight on, fellas.
All right, fight on. All right, here's the last call, and it's coming from USC Low 760. How you doing?
What's up, Jay? What's up, Bryson? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
How's it going?
Good. So I'm a 5th generation Southern Californian, and SC, my grandpa went there, and a lot of my family members and people that I know went there. So people are, we're big on SC football. But I just wanted to say I called in Tim the other day on Voice of College Football. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him that Maava, he didn't have a full season to get developed to be for the offense to be around him, but he looked really good. So, then he came into this season. And he's been the best quarterback that I've seen by far.
Right.
I mean, so, but the thing that I'm calling in about is, King Miller needs to play more. I mean, bottom line, that's not.
But
he has to. He's better.
Who do you start him over? Who do you start him over?
Over at least Eli Sanders. Eli Sanders is good, but I'm just saying maybe Eli Sanders can take kickoffs. I'm not saying that you just take him out of the game, but you got to let, competition is like what Carroll thrived on. Like C.J. Gable would start one game, Chauncey Washington would start one game. It was never like we're just gonna give this guy because he's the favor. We're gonna play him based off being the best performer.
You make a great point. I'm gonna let B. Shaw speak to that because B. Shaw, if you haven't heard, B. Shaw, can you just give him a rundown of what you used to see in practice with him, with King Miller, and I guess you can kind of state the case as to why he needs to be in there too.
Yeah, no. King Miller, he was on scout team last year, and we saw this type of explosiveness, power, and just overall being an elite running back all year last year. And kind of to answer, your question and your statement, I mean, the other guys are performing well too. I mean, Waymo Jordan, he's doing his thing.
Right.
Eli Sanders, I mean, he had 2 touchdowns and he's shown explosiveness. I mean, they're all doing their thing. So, I do agree with you in terms of, get as many people as you can involved. But at this time, I think it's tough for to say King Miller should jump Sanders and jump Jordan because they're both playing well too. It's really just how can you get all 3 involved, and you can get all 3 involved. But I think it's kind of how they got it going. It's kind of how it should be going moving forward for now. But I definitely don't disagree with what you're saying.
No, well, let me add to that question real quick. I want to ask you this then. Brian Jackson was out for the week. Does that does that move King Miller into that 3rd spot? Eli Sanders the 2nd, or Wayman Jordan the 1st, or does Brian Jackson still? But I think we're gonna need him for the Big Ten power personally. So I mean, what do we do?
I think Wayman Jordan's more of an in between the tackles, 1st and 2nd down kind of guy. And then Brian Jackson's a goal line guy. He's a power runner. Put a fullback in there or put a tight end in there and just block downhill and just get in the end zone. Eli Sanders is more of like a screen guy. He's like a quick, twitchy guy.
Right.
And then
I'm looking at the comments.
King Miller is a hybrid, dude. That guy is a freak. I'm just telling you. I've watched sports. I know sports. I played sports. He's good, very good. Like
absolutely.
He's
probably better than everybody but Wayman Jordan. So. I'm not putting down anybody. I love
I'm looking at the comment section, and I do want to bring something up because Young Tiny says blocking, catching the ball out of the backfield all comes into play, and he's absolutely right.
That's a great point.
Pass blocking is just as I tell you what. I've been around some coaches, and I know Coach Jones, the running back coach there now. If you're not pass blocking well, then you're not going to play. And I'm sure all these guys are doing great in pass blocking, but there's a lot more that goes into it than now. Of course, when you're getting explosive plays and scoring touchdowns, that probably does, trump all. But there is a lot more that goes into it when making these type of decisions.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, I'm not trying to dog on nobody. I think they're all really good. I'm just saying.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they all are starters.
He got the least amount of carries, so I'm like, come on, just give him a little love there, Like every time he touches it, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? This guy's he's got another gear.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm glad I'm not the one that got to make that decision. I mean, that's a tough decision.
Tough problem to have, huh?
Yeah, that's a tough problem to have, big time.
Yeah, I think they got to go. I think they're doing pretty well with the rotation as well.
Right.
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, another thing before I let you guys go, I just wanted to say I thought Jaden Walker looked pretty good. He's like instinctual and he's quick. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He looks bigger on the field. It's like, dang, this guy's he looks like one of those traditional, kind of Malaluga kind of builds. Like not as big, but you could tell he could get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. B. Shaw talked about that a little bit before you came on. He was actually he saw him last year. He was a redshirt freshman, and I saw some highlights. I think it might have been last year. They had how USC they football they put those little highlights up in practice, and they were doing what's the drill that they put? Those guys lay on the ground on their backs, and then
you're talking about the midnight alley. Midnight alley.
Yeah, they did that, and I saw him kind of got busy. You were in there for that. I mean, man,
that dude's a beast.
He's a beast. How big is he though? Actually,
he's pretty big. I mean, I can't nail it down exactly, but he's
6'2", about 6'3".
Yeah, 6'2", and he's big and he's fast. I think he played. Somebody told me he played safety in high school.
He played safety. He played receiver. He played tight end. He played end. I mean, he was doing all kind of. Stevens did. Both did.
I got something for you, Jay. So I went to dinner with some of the offensive guys earlier in the week, and they told me that the hardest hitter on the team is the true freshman. I'm going to blank on his name, but number 44, I believe. They said he's
oh my God,
Matai in practice. And they said once he gets some weight and some more development in that area, that they said he's going to be just.
Hey, I said that he was a Sua Craven. You remember Sua Craven?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I said that he was like a Sua Craven type. His name is Matai. I always get his last name messed up, but Matai, originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's a true freshman, number 44. I think he's like 6'4", man, but he shoots like a missile. You saw him on special teams in that first game
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they said he's the biggest hitter.
They said in practice that he's the heaviest hitter, and they said he's not like once he gets some real size to him. So because I guess he hasn't developed fully just being a freshman and stuff, but once he really develops physically, they said that he's going to be.
So the guys you play with said that Matai.
The guys I played with, the guys on the offensive line.
Wow.
That's amazing. That the hardest hitter.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So USC Low, hey, I appreciate you. Anything else, man? And we get ready to get out of here.
No, you guys are awesome. Hey, I appreciate you both. You guys are cool.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thank you for calling in.
All right. Talk to you later.
Man, that's interesting to know. Yeah, man. So look, we appreciate everybody. Let's see here. Man, what did I just do? Okay, here we go. Matai used to play. Yeah, he played safety as well. He did. So look, we are out of here, man. We've been on 55 minutes. We got about 200 people. Hey, thank everybody for coming in, man. Make sure everybody like, subscribe, and share. Listen, B. Shaw has a channel out as well, and it is Shaw Sports. Man, he covers everything, man. You don't cover hockey, do you?
No.
Okay.
I probably will once it gets rolling, though.
I know you cover rugby because you used to play rugby.
Yeah, I cover a little bit.
No. Was it rugby or no, not rugby? Lacrosse. Lacrosse. Yeah. My daughter had a lacrosse scholarship. I'll tell you about that another time.
Yeah,
but anyway, she played as well. But anyway, man, hey, we appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. We are out of here. Fight on, fight on, fight on. Let me make sure this is